reality TV approach to it. And I think so it's mixing so many things into one thing, but I think at its very at no point of time was I ever feeling oh, this is a confusing film or this is a confusing idea.
Especially the scene which we shot in Dharavi where I have to go on stage and perform was a very moving experience for all of us. कभी कभी मेरी वाइफ ही बोलती है, where is your chembur? You know, that killer instinct. मतलब है अंदर है, वो कभी भी जब निकालना हो निकालूंगा मैं. इंडिया का टॉम क्रूज में था. अब मैं इंडिया का क्लिंट ईस्टवुड बनना चाहता हूँ.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how good Anurag Kashyap is an actor?
एक तो ये भी पुलिस स्टेशन में ये होता है, जब मैं जेन्युइनली भी बात करता हूँ, फॉरगेट आउटसाइडर्स, कभी कभी घर पे भी लोग समझते हैं कि मैं एक्टिंग कर रहा हूँ. When I'm saying something to my wife genuinely, तो
Anil sir and Vikram, welcome on Bollywood Hungama.
Thank you.
Congratulations for, I think, one of the most quirkiest films that I've ever seen. So, Anil sir, it's not surprising that you're fine with this because you're someone who always loves to do something new and experiment. But still, how was the experience? Was it one of the most bizarre and unique experiences of your career?
I read the script and instantly said yes to the film, and we jumped into it instantly and started working on it. And from the time I said yes till the time now I'm speaking to you, it's been absolutely a fantastic experience. Yeah.
No, I'm sure it must be.
बिल्कुल bizarre नहीं था, बिल्कुल bizarre नहीं था. It was very enriching and joy. There was a lot of joy, a lot of fun, and we just had a great time. Very liberating. Honestly, really, really a great experience. Yeah.
So when there is that moment when you say कि मेरे अंदर का चेंबूर मत जगा.
Yeah. वो
people will.
कभी मेरी वाइफ ही बोलती है, what happened to you? यार इतना why are you become so where is your chembur? That killer instinct. मतलब है अंदर है, वो कभी भी जब निकालना हो निकालूंगा मैं. मगर so it's when I heard this dialogue, अनुराग ने जब ये चembur, I said I love it. ये तो मैं बहुत conviction से बोलूंगा.
मैं चेंबूर मीम तो चेंबूर साइन एरिया में रहते हैं मीम मेरे अंदर का चेंबूर
मेरे अंदर का चेंबूर बचा. One of my favorite lines of the film. Yeah.
No, I'm sure. And then Anurag says with that, I think, wicked laughter that Daniel का Day Lewis हो गया.
क्या हो गया?
Daniel का Day Lewis हो गया sir. There is blood.
I don't know. This is one of the most bizarre. Yeah, I would say bizarre because it is. I think it's an absolutely unique experience. There's no doubt about that. Okay, now Vikram, how was your process like in terms of writing something like this?
So Avinash Sampath, who's the writer of the film, gave me the idea maybe 6-7 years ago or whatever, and I thought it was so amazingly unique, this idea where it's even though there's this meta level of like, okay, real actor, real person, AK and a real AK, and you need to cast real people in this. But I think at its very heart that you're actually going to make a very, very entertaining kidnap drama, which is actually kind of funny, and you've got this sort of like reality TV approach to it. And I think so it's mixing so many things into one thing, but I think at no point of time was I ever feeling oh, this is a confusing film or this is a confusing idea. I thought the idea was terrific. I thought it really... So we then tried to work towards that, and we went through a few drafts where it's become a little over complex and that kind of stuff. And I think that this last draft we did before we came to Anil sir, we really stripped it down to its absolute basic, most entertaining, simple approach. And I think that's what is, for me, it's just like it's a fun kidnap drama. Yes, there is a lot of many layers in this film, which you can sort of like do it. But at its very source, that's what I was trying to go for. Is that saying that while all the complexities are there, let's just try and make a really, really fun kidnap drama with two really interesting and exciting actors who are playing, the protagonists, and then let's see where it goes from there. I had to keep telling myself that at least. Let's not get too self-indulgent in something like this.
All right, and Anil sir, you keep on saying in the film that your movies have, to Anurag, that your movies have not done well at the box office. But I was thinking about one thing that this is a sort of film that if it would have released in theaters, I think people would have really freaked out. There's so many moments that people would have literally freaked out in theaters.
We feel it that obviously we all want the theaters to open, as soon as possible. They have opened, but of course, yeah, it would have been, it's always theater में release हो film. हम तो theater के, we love cinema, love the big screen, and hopefully even AK versus AK we'll be able to at least आपको तो मैं screen पे दिखाई दूंगा. हम लोग बना रहे हैं एक DSP.
Tell me something about the shooting part of it. I think the camera work, I think, is something that's like a character in itself. And who is Yogita? Let's discover her. I think she's such an intrinsic character as well. Camera work. How was the process like?
So it was, we wanted to do it. So there's two worlds in the film, right? There's the motion picture world, which is actually the real world where we're showing Anil and Anurag in the Mami scene, for example, or at the end of the film. Like that's, where we actually cut and stuff. And I think the film that Yogita is making in this one ends up. So the approach for us was more, I mean, I wanted Anil and Anurag to really, really have, and just to literally go and shoot everything. So we shot every day. We ended up going out there and shooting, I think, 6 to 8 minutes of edited, and what we call edited footage. But we were doing it in maybe 2 or 3 or 4 shots in a day, like literally. So every single shot we were taking was at least 3 to 4 minutes long. Anil sir and Anurag and me and the whole crew, we rehearsed a hell of a lot. Before we improvised a lot of stuff. We basically got us, everybody just on the same page. And then shooting was a ball, yeah. Because, you're shooting with a documentary camera. You're not really worried so much about aesthetics of lighting, that kind of stuff. It has its own aesthetic, which I think is lovely. But you're not really worried about, the lighting. You're just going for it. You're not worried about the quality of the grain. It doesn't matter. So we could really have a full 360 set and just completely have a blast and let the actors do their thing. So the camera is actually it's like the actors are doing their bit and the camera is just observing them doing it. And it's a one for me. I was having a blast. I was having a blast watching it because like you're watching edited footage in front of you. So it's the most liberating thing that I think I've done. It's like you're actually watching the film play out in front of your eyes. You're not having to worry about कि वो B shot लेंगे, उसके बाद edit करेंगे, उसके बाद music डालेंगे. None of that stuff. This was all just playing out live. So it was great. I was loving it.
Which camera was that?
We use an FS7, a Sony FS7.
All right. Now, Anil sir, it's also showcasing the entire power that you have over the masses. You actually go amongst the people and you interact with them. And the way they call you Anil Bhai, I think that's how they must be believing as well. Because you've done so many massy friendly films.
Mm-hmm.
Like Anurag talks about Rakwala and Kasam and Tezab is there and there's Nayak. So many of them. Those massy elements that you've done. Was it an exercise for you in terms of getting to be with your audience and showing to the world as well that what Anil Kapoor means to those people on the streets?
No, but matter of fact, one of the I think most touching and most magical moments as for Vikram, me as an actor and being a student of cinema, and for Vikram and Anurag, all of us was, all these sequences which you're talking about, especially the sequence where I go in front of, they were not background actors, but they were actually real people. And the reaction which you've seen in those are very candid reactions. And quite a few selfies are very candid. And especially the scene which we shot in Dharavi where I have to go on stage and perform was a very moving experience for all of us. And we just had absolutely a great time. उस रात को हम लोग को मेरे ख्याल से सुबह 6 बजे तक शूटिंग करनी थी, मगर वो ऐसा मैजिकल हुआ कि मेरे ख्याल से 3 घंटे में हमने पैकअप कर दिया. We just got the pieces which we wanted to get, and we just got those pieces so quickly because somewhere I feel the real people really made that scene even more effective. So, and I think the characters which I played in the past, I think कहीं ना कहीं वो characters ने भी मेरी बड़ी मदद की. जो किरदार दूसरे फिल्म मेकर्स और राइटर्स ने मेरे लिए लिखे थे, तो उनका मैंने एडवांटेज लिया. हम सब ने एडवांटेज लिया और लोगों को याद था, तो वो सब चीज़ें मिलजुल के, those scenes really became exciting. Yeah.
There's this beautiful moment in in that performance part when you're performing for people and when you're requesting them with folded hands that just let me know that where is Javed, and the crowd being crowd, they don't mean harm, they don't mean being wicked, but they say that nacho.
Yeah.
And you are having that entire angst inside you and the fact that you've come this far, but you understand that as a performer, this is what they mean to you. This
I
is
think
what the
Vikram, I think
audience.
because he's written the scene, I think you'll be the right person to really answer that. Yeah.
No, I think, and no, you should, because what we were trying to do is sort of like say what happens when, because I don't live the life that Anil sir lives in, and like we have the luxury, I think, of switching off, especially in public as filmmakers, you can, I don't think there's ever a switching off moment for actors,
Yeah.
for Anil sir, and he's been doing it for years. And what I was trying to achieve over there is the fact that when you're there and you're actually completely stripped naked in that moment, as you're showing as much as your true self as you possibly can, and yet the audience is wanting you to perform for them because that's what they're expecting you to do.
Exactly.
So for me it was theoretical, but for you it was actually.
Yeah, because obviously we have, I think all actors and stars and go through that. In very, as you say, moments which you never expect, at least there'll be some decorum, and some sensitivity by, and but they are so innocent. वो समझते ही नहीं, चाहे वो funeral हो किसी का, कोई ऐसा, your flight is getting delayed, you're running towards something, or you have so many other things in your mind, but उनको, they see you as the person on the screen they've seen, their favorite star, their favorite moment, and they want us to create that favorite moment or speak that favorite dialogue, or they want a selfie, or they want an autograph. They are so innocent. It's not, you're right when you say that they're not being wicked or they're not being mean. It's their love for you. And then as a star and as an actor or as a celebrity, you understand that and you feel, okay, चलो मैं ये देता हूँ और फिर मैं अपनी बात करता हूँ. तो पहले हम ये करते हैं कि हम पहले उनको जो चाहिए वो देते हैं ताकि वो सेटिस्फाई हो जाएं, और मैं फिर बोलता हूँ मैं अभी जा सकता हूँ या मेरे को ये इन्फॉर्मेशन चाहिए. आपको मिल गया, आपको मैंने तस्वीर दे दी, आपको मैंने ऑटोग्राफ दे दिया. So I think people who love their well-wishers and they love their fans will always have that attitude, So that's what is there in that scene. I want to know where is my daughter, and Javed is the only person who can, and I'm finding Javed. अब वहाँ हज़ारों लोग हैं, हज़ारों लोगों में मैं कैसे ढूंढूंगा कहाँ जावेद है. तो मैं उनसे पूछता हूँ कि आप में से कोई भी मुझे अगर बता दें, तो पहले तो उन लोग बिलीव नहीं करते हैं, वो समझते हैं कि मैं एक्टिंग कर रहा हूँ. एक तो ये भी पुलिस स्टेशन में ये होता है, जब मैं जेन्युइनली भी बात करता हूँ, फॉरगेट आउटसाइडर्स, कभी कभी घर पे भी लोग समझते हैं कि मैं एक्टिंग कर रहा हूँ. When I'm saying something to my wife genuinely, so why go outside? Sometimes your whole family members feel that you're acting.
And so you're giving such an amazing inspiration to all the 60+ men that it's fine to call their wives as babes. You can call your wife as babes. It's absolutely fine if you look the part.
अभी तो रिलीज के बाद पता चलेगा कि मेरी वाइफ का क्या रिएक्शन है, because she's not seen the film.
She hasn't seen it as yet, no?
No, she's not seen it. Yeah. Anurag has this real life persona that उनका villainous जो deeds हैं film में वो उसको मानना काफी आसान हो जाता है. So I think you guys are having a tough time because of Anurag's real life beliefs as well, and the fact that a lot of people, they have certain issues with him. So how are you dealing with that, Vikram?
You mean in terms of like the
See, can I answer this? You see, because that's the perception. And when I was, when we were, speaking, so it's an exaggerated version of himself, and kind of the dialogues also are the trolls, which the Twitters, right? He has written those dialogues. That's what he was saying, and that's not the real Anurag. The Anurag me and Vikram know, and I'm sure his close friends and family members know, is completely different for the kind of perception people have about him.
Absolutely. Anand sir, if Anurag Kashyap is India का Tarantino, who will be India का Christopher Nolan?
Christopher Nolan अब तक मुझे लगता है कि विक्रम मोटवाने.
India का Tom Cruise.
इंडिया का टॉम क्रूज इस वक्त who's in the इंडिया का टॉम क्रूज नहीं, इंडिया का टॉम क्रूज में था। अब मैं इंडिया का क्लिंट ईस्टवुड बनना चाहता हूँ, और इंडिया का द लेट शॉन कॉनरी, whom I've been a great admirer, हैरिसन फोर्ड, एंड टॉम क्रूज का मैं क्राउन यंगस्टर्स को देता हूँ। आई थिंक समवेयर आई फील all these young actors who are now in their 30s, among all of them, they have the potential of being the future. If they have that kind of discipline and hard work, if they put in the kind of hard work Tom Cruise puts in, which is unimaginable. लोग बोलते हैं यार बहुत मेहनत करते हैं actor. That is not even 10%, because I have worked with him. I know the kind of work he puts in. So there is a potential among quite a few of them who can be the future Tom Cruise of our country. Yeah.
How can we make it big in the industry like you? Asked someone to Anurag in AK versus AK trailer. What would be Anil Kapoor's answer to this?
I think anybody can, and you just have to dream. And whatever you dream, you can fulfill it if you are very sincere, your intent is right, and a little bit of blessings of the family and Almighty, a little bit of luck. Anybody can make it.
If a 20-year-old Anil Kapoor meets today's Anil Kapoor, what would he find most fascinating about him?
The 20-year, हाँ यार तू सेम लग रहा है यार.
सर जिस तरीके से आप भागे हैं, जो आप प्लेटफॉर्म पे जो आप भागे हैं सर, मतलब honestly speaking, that is outstanding.
Thank you.
Okay, which according to you is your most underrated film so far?
I feel my wife's murder.
That's a good friend.
Yeah.
Okay, if you could have any of your filmy character as your best friend forever, who would that be?
वो क्या यार
Any of your filmy characters as your best friend forever, who would that be?
filmy character, best friend, Majnu bhai.
Okay, how would you react to these YouTube comments on trailer of AK versus AK? Siddharth Jha has commented, चलो अनिल कपूर का चेहरा देख के अपना 2020 बन गया, इनको देख के अलग ही फ्रेशनेस फील होती है, जल्दी रिलीज कर दो फिल्म, थिएटर में आई तो और भी मजा आएगा।
24 दिसंबर को लग रही है नेटफ्लिक्स पर, प्लीज देखिए, मेरा जन्मदिन भी है, और पहले फिल्म देखिए, बाद में मुझे विश कीजिए।
फिल्म एक्टर्स का नहीं, डायरेक्टर्स का मीडियम है, says अनुराग in AK versus AK. Can you name any one Bollywood film which doesn't fall under this?
One Bollywood film that doesn't fall under the fact that it's a director's medium. यार ऐसे बहुत हैं. It depends on the director.
Okay.
ये इस पे तो ताली मारनी चाहिए।
Depends on the director. Cinema is my religion. इससे बहुत डिस्प्ले होने वाला है. Cinema is my religion. Okay, if a film with same team as AK versus AK was made in 90s, who would star in it and what would be its title?
Anil Kapoor will still star in it. It will be AK versus कौन था तभी यार?
90s में.
90s में.
Director.
Vidhu Vinod Chopra. VVC versus AK.
VVC versus AK.
मजा आता. Oh my god. कैसा फिल्म होता?
That's a
और रामू. RGV versus AK.
Yeah, RGV versus.
All right. So, Vikram, what is the worst thing about directing a director?
If you will notice in the film in certain places, not only he's also a director, he's also the dialogue writer of this film, right? So
yeah.
उसको कभी-कभी पीछे में आप देखो, आप you won't see it first time, second time, but when you see it third, fourth time, you'll see him background में Anil Kapoor dialogue बोल रहा है, अनुराग भी पीछे-पीछे mouth कर रहा है dialogue को. So the worst thing about doing that is Anurag can't get the director out of his head.
और कभी किसी ने वो अच्छा शॉट दिया तो उसका रिएक्शन है, अरे he is not supposed to react.
He's also looking at it. हाँ, अच्छा हो गया.
You know, I've never seen anyone clapping so sarcastically the way Anurag Kashyap has done. Clap may be a sarcasm, and I think it's okay. On a scale of 1 to 10, how good Anurag Kashyap is an actor?
He's an 11.
Yes.
Don't tell him that,
Okay.
but he's an 11.
All right, a Bollywood actor you wouldn't want to get retired without working with.
It's always been my dream to work with Mr. Bachchan. I've been trying to do it now for 20 years. So hopefully before he retires. I think he's going to go on forever, so I think I have some time.
Yeah.
What is it that you admire the most about the following people? Anurag Kashyap.
His complete lack of insecurity.
Oh, wow. Anil Kapoor.
His complete lack of insecurity. Same
एक
answer for both of them.
वर्ड भी यूज हुआ है, असुरक्षित यूज हुआ है, आप असुरक्षित फील कर रहे हैं, पिक्चर में यूज हुआ है, आप असुरक्षित फील कर रहे हैं, मुझे लगता है. ओके, रणवीर सिंह.
I think energy is the cliched answer. But I think his commitment to anything that he does is fantastic.
Okay, Shah Rukh Khan.
One word is how do you describe Shah Rukh Khan in one word? Yeah.
What do you admire the most about him? So if there's
What
no
I
one
admire
word.
the most about him, his swag, boss.
All right, so Anil sir and Vikram, thank you very much for talking to us. And Anil sir, happy birthday to you in advance.
Thank you.
And I'm sure that you're going to be having a great year. 2020 has been good for very few people, and I think you are one of them. So thank you very much, and all the best wishes. Thank you very much.
Thanks,
Faridoon.
Faridoon. Thanks. Thank you so much.